Hey guys, it's DC and welcome to the Soap Sanctuary where all soap lovers are welcome, guys. This is my sanctuary reflections that you have to show up for yourself. You have to show up for yourself. All right, let me connect it to soaps here before we get started here. Do you remember how One Life to Live? I'm talking from my real One Life to Live fans, not like those who claim they watch One Life to Live but just watch the last 15 minutes of it to make sure they were on time for GH. Albert Bostic. But when watching One Life to Live, you guys remember the whole Nikki Smith, Bess, Tess, all the multiple personalities, right? Now, the goal of the multiple personalities like Nikki Smith and Tess and Bess were to protect the host, which was Jessica and Vicky, right? That was their job, to protect them. But if you look at it on a deeper level, the alters showed up when the hosts could not show up for themselves, right? That's when the alters showed up, was when the hosts could not show up for themselves. And it's like, yo, we got to show up for you. You got to show up. Because I can't have you out here messing up. You gotta show up. But it's like that in life too. You have to show up for yourself because you will find that life will be very different for you when you begin to show up for yourself, right? A lot of times people think that people will say things like, oh, you know, I'm such a good person. I do so much for everyone. Why is everyone treating me like this? And it doesn't mean that you warrant disrespect. Definitely not. But the thing about it is that that's on the surface. What's going on inside of here? Because usually people will treat you how you feel about yourself, even if you don't realize it. And it's based on what's going on the core, not on the surface. And that's why people usually get confused. I'm so nice to people. Why is everyone disrespecting me? Because you disrespect yourself. Maybe in ways you don't see it, or you don't honor yourself, or you don't honor your own needs. And that's what's going on inside here in the core. And that's really what's emitting out there, as opposed to the surface stuff you're putting on. That's why somebody can look so good and do all this stuff, but something about them don't feel good. It doesn't feel like they look good. But that's from an energetic level. You can feel it. Like even when someone's saying all the right words, you can feel when it's just disingenuous or it's not sincere. You can feel it, right? Energy can't lie. You can feel that type of stuff. And that's why sometimes people get confused. They're not emitting from a surface level that they think they are. They're emitting from the core that's going on inside of here. Because most of the times relationships will just reflect what's going on inside of you. So I've had friends in the past tell me, you know, oh, I'm with somebody, you know, they don't see me, they don't honor me, you know, and that's hard. I understand that. It's very hard. But sometimes you're gonna have to ask yourself the question, did you see yourself? Did you honor yourself? Did you respect yourself? Because here's the thing, if you don't, right, you're just only gonna attract somebody who doesn't do that as well. Straight up. And 9 times likely, that person also doesn't like or respect themselves either. And then even though you're with the relationship with them, you kind of don't respect them either yourself. Tell me I'm lying. Because if you're with somebody and you see they don't show up for themselves, what the hell makes you think they're going to show up for you? It's kind of like I said yesterday in my GH video, like, how did Carly expect Sonny to have such morale when this man was killing people? He kills people for a living. The morale ain't there, sis. You really expect him to have morale when he don't have morale himself? You expect him to have morale in his marriage, his morale with you, when he doesn't have that for himself. Really. And if he does, he has a twisted sense of it. And that's what you got, the twisted sense of morale. That's what I'm saying. You got to look at sometimes relationship people got going on with themselves first. It's going to tell you a lot of times everything you need to know. And here's the thing. When you're in a relationship and you start to level up or you do things differently, one or two things are going to happen. And it doesn't go vice versa either way. You or the other person will either get insecure, or you or the other person say, hey, like, you're going out all the time. Hey, like, maybe I should go some time with you. Or, hey, maybe I should start doing those things myself too. Hey, because it's all about the energy. The energy got to match. And it's like about the polarity. So if one person on one end of the spectrum, another person on the other end of the spectrum, somebody's going to have to bend the knee. Or else what's going to happen is you'll see is there'll be a lot of tumultuous nature, or the relationship will eventually dissolve because you guys are no longer a match in that aspect. Right? So this is why, like I said, you have to show up for yourself and everything you do. Especially, like, for example, if you're at a job and you need a raise because you know the money ain't cutting it. And you're like, I need to ask for a raise, but I'm scared. But like them bills at home are piling up. And you're like, damn, they piling up, right? Because in life, when you don't ask for what you need, the need just becomes bigger. If you're in a relationship, like I need communication, I need love, I need affection. I need those things. And we need those things. But I don't want to ask for it. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to, like, I feel like I'm doing too much. You do all that, and then next thing you know, more situations start coming your way, which show you, like in the relationship, like which make it more obvious that you need affection, that you need love, that you need communication, because now the need is just getting bigger. The need is just getting bigger. You ever notice you can have a deadline for something and you need help, and you don't ask for the help? And it's like the more the time goes on, you ask for help, the more you don't ask what you need, the more the need just gets bigger. The more the deadline just like is looming on over you, because you need to you got to ask for what you need. And sometimes people can't give that. That's okay. Then you have to excuse yourself. But you got to be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself about what you need. A lot of people do that. They lie to themselves about what they really need, and they lie to themselves about who they are, because they think if other people can handle this, I can handle this too. But you're not other people. You're not everybody. You have to be honest about what your needs are. That's why I say I don't do social media. That's not good for my mental health. I'll say that in every video. It's not. That one day could change, but right now it hasn't. And I don't try to bargain or negotiate with that. That's not good for my needs. I honor myself. I know certain things that I can or cannot handle. We were on Albert's chat last night, and I said, I don't think I could do a celebrity. Not right now, at least. That's not good for my mental health. And Albert was like, what are they good-looking DC? And I was like, what's that good-looking going to do for me when my mental health is suffering because I'm plastered on every tabloid and I can't handle all that? What's some good looks going to do for me then? You know? But you got to be honest with yourself. You got to show up for yourself. And that means putting your needs first. When you do that, other people put you first too. Other people put you first. A lot of times you go into situations thinking like the person will see you. They'll see your Johnny. They'll see you suffering. Nope. Most times they don't. They don't watch you. A lot of people just watch you suffer in the corner. And you know why they watch you suffer in the corner? Because they let themselves suffer in the corner too. If they can't even show up for themselves, what makes you think they're going to show up for you? And you have to be honest to see that. You have to be honest to see that. You know, I remember years ago, it was like my first year of undergrad. I was like 21, 22. And this guy, he was like a couple years older. And it was like, his life was in shambles. And it happens to the best of us. But I remember at that time, like, why are you dating them if your life is in shambles like this? Like, you don't have no money, things is left, there's that going on. Like, is this really a time for you to date? Like, what can you bring forward? And in that moment, I could feel like you're neglecting your own needs. I could clearly see that as clear as that you were neglecting your own needs. So if you're neglecting your own needs, you would surely neglect mine. Because the relationship you're going to have with me, yourself is going to reflect the relationship you have with me. There's no way the two are going to be incongruent. And it might look that way for a while. You know, it might look that way for a while. Oh, they're so selfless. Oh, they're so selfless. But how long is that going to last? Is that manageable in the end, right? Is that truly manageable? Is that manageable in the end? This is why Nikki Smith had to show up for Vicky, because Vicky couldn't show up for herself. Understandable given the situations with Nikki and that's why they had alters in the first place. I'm going to get into that, but we understand why. But somebody had to show up for Vicky because Vicky couldn't show up for herself. Because what happens when you don't show up for yourself? Your whole world is going to become chaos. And it's hard sometimes you're doing mental health challenges to show up for yourself. It is hard. That's why you have to learn what it is that you need. Some people need community. Some people need that. There's nothing wrong with saying you need people. There's nothing wrong with saying I feel lonely. What can I do to curb this or to help myself so I don't get depressed? That's why I always keep myself busy, right? And make sure life doesn't feel too mundane, because if it does, it's how you get in situations you don't need to be in. So that's what happens. But you got to show up for yourself. It's not easy, but you have to. Remember, if you don't ask for what you need, the need just becomes bigger. I learned that in life. And one thing I've also learned is too, as our self-esteem is not platinum. It's not. Some things will break you. If you go into it enough, some things will break you in half. Right? That's why some people say, oh, I can't handle that. And it doesn't make you weak to admit that. It just means you're showing up for yourself because you're being honest with yourself. You're not lying to yourself about something. Like, oh, well, maybe I can do that. I don't know. You know? That's why sometimes when they be in a relationship with somebody, have this person meet your friends as soon as possible. They don't got to meet them within the first, 30 days or something, but have them meet your friends and family as soon as possible as you can. Because what happens is if you 2 years in, you're just not introducing this person to your friends and family, it's like the mob. You're in too deep already. It's too late. And then your friends and family start seeing some red flags. They can't even tell you. Because now at this point, you're like, no, I love this person. We've been together for 2 years. Roar. You're in too deep. You won't be able to even see clearly. You're in too deep at that point. You know? You're in too deep. And obviously, you can entertain their cautions and their concerns within reason. Within reason, right? Within reason. So, but that's the thing. You have to show up for yourself, guys. You have to show up for yourself. Anyways, guys, that is my Soap Sanctuary reflection. I will see you guys in the next video. This has been Soap Sanctuary.